Good evening, yogis, and a warm welcome. My name is Amanda, and really, I wish for you a wonderful and relaxing yin practice. When we practice, and particularly with yin, it's important that we practice mindfully, that we're really there when we practice, and also importantly, and particularly with yin, that we are relaxed. So let's start lying down on your back. Um, Just roll over on your back, spread your feet wide, and then let your knees just gently come together. Rest your hands on your belly. Close your eyes. So, just a little note here. As we practice, there will be times when you won't be able to see the screen, and you'll be really relaxed in your asana. So just trust the process. I let you know when it's time to come out and what you need to do next. So just lie down on your back. Make yourself comfortable. Your knees are gently together. Just listen to your breathing for a while, just as it is. Now think about the idea of atha, now, and ask it to yourself as a question. What do I need right now? What does my body want right now? Listen in stillness and silence. Wait for the answer. You notice your thoughts wandering. Just simply bring your awareness back to your breath. Just listen to your breath just as it is. Atha Yoga Anusasanam. Now begins the study of yoga. There is power in the moment of now. The past is done. The future is yet to be realized. Only in this very moment can you act. And every moment presents another opportunity to begin. And as you listen to your breath, just think about each breath as a whole new moment, and a whole new opportunity to begin. Listening to your natural and your quiet breath. Now just start bringing very small little movements into your body. Take a big stretch your arms over your head, bring your feet together along your mat, point your toes, and then hug your knees into your chest, roll over to your left hand side, your yin side. Just stay here for a moment. Now press your right palm into the mat. Take a breath in as you very slowly come up into a seated position. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Lift your chest, relax your shoulders, close your eyes. And we'll start our practice with one arm. So just let the sound come here from your heart center through your throat. Take a deep breath in. Open your eyes. Bring your feet out in front of you. So we're going to take caterpillar pose, and the idea here is to just start limbering up the body a little bit and to open the back of the body. And as always with a forward fold, think of the hinges, the fold point as the hip sockets, using the pelvis with which to fold. A lot of times we kind of try to fold here from the waist. So anchor your heels, walk your sit bones back, and then lift up here through the top of your chest and then walk your hands forward. Just go to where you feel just significant resistance and relax there. So if you find that your hamstrings are not very cooperative and a little tight, try elevating your hips. Maybe sit on a block. And of course, there's absolutely nothing wrong with bending your knees a little bit or even bringing them right up. The important thing is that you feel the sensations in the target area. Many of you may feel a little bit here in the lower back as well. Remember, as with any practice, if you feel any sharp pains, numbness, or tingling, first try backing off a little bit, or if that still doesn't work, come right out. You can support your body in any way you need. You might have a block under your forehead, or just resting your hands in your face in your hands. It's really nice when we practice yin, close the eye so that you can really just notice the sensations that you're feeling and the nature of these sensations, what they feel like, what characteristics they have. They might change as you stay there. So the principles of Yin Yoga are three, and I might argue four. The first one is to come to an appropriate depth. The second is to commit to stay and to relax your body and to hold it for a certain amount of time. Holding, to hold an asana might imply an action and an effort. So I like to say to stay in there for a while. When we practice yin, we target the connective tissues, the ligaments, the joints, and then, of course, the meridians and the energy areas. So it's important to see where you can relax your muscles. It's helpful to close your eyes and, just like before, to listen to your breath. Remember, just trust the process. I will let you know when it is time to come out. And it's like Plato said, the beginning is the most important part of the work. The beginning has our hopes and our dreams and our intentions, our sankalpa. The beginning on a physical level is also how we set up the body so that we can find that lovely and juicy yin posture. It's a good opportunity here also to scan your body and see where there might be tension. Right now, I'm feeling quite a bit of tension here in the back of my shoulders. So consciously breathe into that area and let it just relax. Many of you may notice some nice release in that area where the sacroiliac joint is. Now, when we come out of an asana, always take the trouble to come out really slowly. So here it's nice to just slide your hands onto the mat as you take a breath in. Come up really slowly. We're going to counter that and move on now with puppy pose, anahatasana. I'll show you sideways. So here, just come to your hands and knees. Now, just to get the body right, bring your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. And then open your hands a little wider, more or less to the sides of your mat. Keep your hips over your knees and slide forward. So right away, most of you will notice some sensation in the shoulders, in the lower back. So here again, adjust as you need to. You might bring your hips just slightly back if your lower back feels too much. If you have something going on in the shoulders, try bringing your hands a little closer, or if you need to drop your elbows onto the mat. Typically, puppy pose is practiced with our chin on the mat. And that can be quite rough on the neck. So totally fine here if you want to put your forehead on the mat. And then relax your body. And come back to your breath. Just listen to your breath. I sometimes like to think of the breath as those lapping little waves on a lake or on a sea from the ocean. There's a very nice little poem by Dana Folds that I'd like to share with you here. She calls it being present. Breathe, relax, and feel. Take time to slow down the pace of life. Watch the rise and fall of moons and the birth and death of dreams. Feelings and sensations seem so real, and yet they shift like changing clouds and flow with a high tide out to sea again. Allow it all to be. No need to grasp or push away. Present with each moment, the whole of you, body, mind and soul open to receive. We're just going to be here for another minute or so. Awareness in the breath, and sensations in the body. Then again, very slowly coming out, slide your hands closer to you. As you feel here, you want to move around a little bit. Just perhaps take a few cat's breaths. Just drop your belly, let your pelvis tilt forward. Wrap your elbows under and lift your collarbones. This is all on an in breath. And as you breathe out, just stretch your back, just like a cat stretches up. And then we're going to make our way into child's pose. So your knees are still under your hips. Just bring them a little closer together and then bring your hips to your heels and your belly to your thighs. And again, here, if you need a little room, just separate your knees a little bit. And then bring your forehead to the mat and your arms along your sides. I've taught for long enough to know that sometimes the hamstrings and the glutes are really tight here, so you might not quite make that. It's perfectly fine. Just find that spot where it's comfortable. A block under the chest or a block under your forehead might be helpful. Just watch out for your neck here. It's a great opportunity here to just close your eyes and really feel those sensations in your body. Many of you will feel the feedback now from the puppy pose that we've just taken. Balasana, this child's pose that you're in now, is also a great place to go to. I think of it as a home pose. Things get a little bit too much, and there's so many levels at which it can get a little bit much. Just get child's pose and come back to your breath and come back to now, to upper now. Our culture teaches us that we always have to be on our way somewhere, a goal, a place, a certain time. When we practice yin, that's probably one of my favorite things about yin, is how it teaches us to become quiet. This is your hour now. You can relax and just enjoy your practice. Awareness in the breath and the sensations in your body. Do what you can with what you have, where you are. Theodore Roosevelt quite famously said that. And then slowly bring your hands to the mat. Again, take a breath in and come up really slowly. It's also a very good practice to, between asanas, to just perhaps take a few moments to just get that feedback from the asana that you have just done. Eyes closed, listening to your breath and listening to all the sensations that are coming up now. When you're ready, just move over to a seated position. So we're going to take butterfly pose now. You will notice straight away as you bring your feet together that your pelvis tilts back. We want the pelvis upright so that we can, with the pelvis, fold forward. So just here, lift up and shift your sit bones back. Now you have a nice, long and natural spine, and you're sitting on the tippy toes of your sit bones. Bring the soles of your feet together. Well, we've already done that. And then just rock back to the tips of your sit bones. Now, this here for many can be quite intense here. So you can slide your feet forward as far as you want so that you end up with a diamond shape. Just find that sweet spot. And then again, take a breath in here through your upper chest. And as you breathe out with a nice long and relaxed spine, just fold forward. I'm going to invite you here to turn your palms up so that we don't have that temptation to pull and start engaging the muscles. We want to bypass the muscles here and just go directly into those important areas. Many ways you can support your body. Here, of course, you could sit on a block. Personally, I find in butterfly sitting on a block might be a little high, but keeping in mind that we're all entirely different. Our whole bodies are constructed in different ways. So try that out and see if that works okay for you. Something else you could do is just rest your forehead on a block between your feet. Listen to your breath. A butterfly is a very nice way to fold forward, particularly if the hamstrings are a little tight. You don't need them to be loose for a really delicious forward fold. Getting a nice external rotation here in the hip sockets. And because the muscles and the connective tissue and everything else aren't independent of each other, you are getting a very passive and gentle stretch here on the inner thigh muscles, the vastus medialis. Allow your shoulders to round and your back to round. And I always like noticing how these sensations move around and change just in character as we stay in them. Breathe in a whole new moment, a whole new now. And breathe out, letting go of whatever was, whatever's gone before. Just relax the body. A very helpful way to relax the body is if you relax the back of your tongue and your throat, the brain relaxes. Another great technique to stay with the breath is noticing, is imagining a little button on your spine, moving up and down with your breath. So on the inhale, the button moves from the top of your spine right down to the bottom. And on the exhale, it moves all the way back up. That is called the Soham breath. Bring your hands to the mat. Slowly come out as you breathe in. Feels really nice here to straighten your legs out. Lean back on your hands. Roll your shoulders back and lift your heart up. Point your toes here. Come back center. Make your way back onto your hands and knees. We're going to move a little bit into the dragons now. I know it sounds awful, dragons. So from tabletop position, step your right foot forward between your hands. So you'll notice here that your left knee is now directly under your hips. So tuck your toe here and slide that hip back. Now we start getting a little bit of juice here in the hip socket and in the groin and in the quadriceps. Walk your front foot out a little bit and turn the toes out just a little bit. So just turn the toes out a little bit. And then drop your hips and lift your collarbones. Notice right away how those sensations shift into the hips. I know very often it's all well and good to say relax your hips. We all know it doesn't happen in a moment. So just gently, without pushing, allow your hips to just sink down, just on their own. If you feel you'd like a little more, try putting a block under your hands. And again, dropping the hips and lifting your collarbones. That's going to bring a little bit more into your hips. Some of you may like to move down onto the elbows. Importantly here, if we drop the gaze, then the back rounds and that lifts the hips up a little bit. So again here, perhaps just keep your gaze up and just a little bit ahead of you on the floor or on your mat. If your right knee wants to fall open a bit, that's great. It's a little bit of extra bonus there, so now you're getting some more external rotation. Consciously, all the time, keep bringing your awareness just back to the rhythm of your breath, those little lapping waves at the shore of the lake. Coming out, coming in, and going out. And with each out breath, see if you can relax a little bit more. Sometimes the muscles tense up a little bit. If you notice that happening, direct your breath to that area where you notice that. And then, of course, there's the alternative. If it gets too much, just back off a little bit. Take a slightly softer version or come right out. Balasana, child's pose, is really a great place to hang out for a little while. In the last minute, there's opportunity for those of you who want to just slide your right foot forward and take Hanumasana. You could take that sitting up or lying down. If you're still working on Hanumasana and you're not quite getting there yet, of course, just put a block under your buttock. So we're just here for another minute. And then slowly again, make your way out. Make your way back onto your hands and knees. Now, many of us here will feel the urge to move the body a little bit. Marauding bear is really nice here, moving your hip and your shoulder towards each other, and then the other side. And then step your left foot forward. Turn your toes out just a little bit, and remember to slide that back knee back, just to where you still feel comfortable. It's helpful here to just take a moment and kind of feel where you are. And it's always good to remember that your one side of your body most of the time doesn't feel or behave the same as the other side of the body. So take this as a whole new moment and a whole new asana. Let your hips just gently drop, lift your collarbone. Perhaps just stay here for a little while and either stay or make your way into down onto your elbows. Or if you feel you want a little more, just bring your hands onto a block. Remember here to relax your shoulders. That knee wants to fall open. That's the cherry on top. Coming back to your breath and the sensations in your body every time. So to try to stop thinking is entirely pointless. We all know that. So when we notice thoughts arriving, or things that want to distract us, know they're there, acknowledge them, and then just let them pass by. Like, yeah, I know you're there. Goodbye. I'm busy now. I'm thinking about my breath and the sensations in my body. That's all. Allow your lips to spread into a soft little gentle smile. I remember when I was little and I would, our kids, you might want to cry or you. My mom used to say to me sometimes, hey, smile. And then I would, and then she'd say, see, it feels better already. For the monkeys out there, the Hanumasanas, if you like, at this point, just slide your left foot forward. And perhaps just stay here, stay up. Remember, you can put your block under your left buttock and enjoy this moment. I went for quite a hard and long walk today, so my legs can certainly feel this, and I'm really appreciating this gentle stretching and this yin practice. Take your time and come out really slowly. And again, here, make a few movements, a few mindful movements just to leave the area. When you're ready, we're going to move into supported bridge. So here, roll over on your back. Just grab a block or a pillow or a bolster if you like, whatever you might have handy. And then as you lie down on your back, bring your heels nice and comfortably close to your buttocks. And then lift your hips and slide whatever it is that you have, your block or your rolled up pillow or a bolster, just under where the lower back and the upper buttocks meet. You might have to shift around a little bit just to get that comfort. And then lift your shoulders, rotate them back and let your arms fall open. If you feel more comfortable again here, you can just let your hands rest on your belly. Just like in the beginning of class, we just listened to the breath. So while you hanging out there, there's another lovely little poem that I'd like to share with you. This one is called Witness by the same poet, Dana Forbes. As you can see, it's a very well used book. When I can be the witness, all manner of miracles occur. Old wounds heal, the past reveals itself to be released. Present dramas play themselves out without sinking emotional talons into my soft skin. The witness welcomes truth and dares to meet reality on its own terms. It is the ground in which the seeds of transformation take root and finally flower. When the witness is awake, the lake of mind is still, and in that mirrored surface, I see my own true face as spirits smiling back at me. Awareness in your breath and in the sensations in your body. If you want a little more, you could just spread your feet out, lengthen your legs along your back, open your arms wide, or of course, just stay right there where you are. And then lift your hips, slide the block or whatever it is that you have under your hips out, lie down on your back. Bring your knees over your hips, cross your right thigh over your left thigh. Let your knees drop over towards your left. So the thigh that you have crossed over the other one is the one that is at the top now. You may have to here shift your hips back a little bit, may open your shoulders wide and let the shoulder blades rest flat on the mat. Now drop your head over to the other side. If that is too intense, of course you could just bring your knees and your ankles together and let them drop over to the side. I've also found that it feels really good here to have a block or a cushion or something between your knees. Relax and enjoy. Slowly release and come back center. Reset. Now cross your left thigh over your right and let your knees drop over to the other side. Lift your shoulders, broaden them out, and let your arms just fall open. Again, support your body where you need to, adjust where you need. Roll back onto your back, hug your knees to your chest, rock around a little bit, and then take happy baby. Just bend your knees, have a hold of your feet. Your head and your shoulders are relaxed on the mat. And then just draw your feet down towards you. And again here, just rock around a little bit, kind of like a little baby lulling yourself. And then release your feet down your mat. Keep them comfortably wide open. Let your feet and your knees fall open. And then again, lift your shoulders, rotate them back so that your arms fall open. You might even let your arms go as wide as you like. I like quite a wide shavasana. Maybe rock your head a little bit from side to side until it rests naturally in the center. Close your eyes. Some of you may like put a blanket over yourself. Relax the lines of expression on your face. Rest your tongue on the roof of your mouth with the tip of your tongue just behind your front teeth. Relax the back of your tongue and your throat. Relax your shoulders. Relax your belly. Let it just drop right back. Your hip bones just fall away from each other. If you're worried about snoozing, it might be okay with you. You might catch a snooze, or if you don't worry, just trust the process. And I will let you know when it's time to come out. Quietly bring your awareness within. Relax the space between your eyebrows. Take a long breath in, beginning slowly. Notice the pause at the top of the breath. And then let it go, long and easy. Aware of the peace in the pause at the bottom of the breath. And take another breath in and let it go. Notice your chest rise with each inhalation and fall with each exhalation as a reassuring rhythm. In our silence, we become aware of still deeper rhythms. Our heartbeat, perhaps the pulsing of the fluid in our spinal cord, the circulation of our blood, the patterns of neural communication, the actual respiration in our cells. We have the colors of our thoughts and the song in our heart. All these rhythms and melodies fold together into a beautiful symphony. This is a symphony that is uniquely yours. Pause, listen, Remember, your symphony is a part of the music of the universe. It is fully, intensely, wonderfully alive. It breathes. As you inhale, the universe is exhaling into you this vivid aliveness, this music. And as you exhale, you accept. Notice the weight of your body on the mat. Breathing and the beat of your heart. Make tiny little movements. Your fingers and your toes. Take a big breath in and stretch your whole body. Now bring your knees into your chest and rock over to your left hand side, your yin side. And slowly make your way up into a comfortable seat. Bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra. Close our practice with one arm. Take a deep breath in. Bring your thumbs, your seat of consciousness between your eyebrows. And we acknowledge and honor the beauty and the wisdom and the love that's there in all of us and available to all of us when we say Namaste. Namaste Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, yogis. Please feel free to leave feedback. I see I've had a few comments. Thank you, everybody. Love you and see you soon.